They didn't just kill my dog, they laughed about it. And when the law said there was nothing they could do, I made sure justice found them anyway. This is the story of how two heartless men lost the one thing they loved more than their cars, more than their money, more than their pride. They lost their right to ever own an animal again. I got him during one of the lowest points of my life, after my divorce. He was small then, just a rescue pup. But he grew into this goofy, loyal ball of energy that never left my side. He was the one who greeted me every day when I came home from work, tail wagging so hard his whole body shook. He slept at the foot of my bed. He was my family. One summer evening, I was unloading groceries from my car. Charlie slipped through the gate, excited, tail wagging, just being himself. He ran toward the street. That's when I saw headlights. A car came barreling down, music blasting so loud the bass rattled the windows, two young guys inside speeding like the road was theirs. I screamed, but it was too late. The impact was instant. Charlie's body hit the pavement with a sickening thud. I froze, my heart ripping apart in my chest. I dropped everything and ran to him, scooping him up, praying, begging that he would breathe. But Charlie was gone. And then I heard it, the laughter. The guys in the car weren't horrified. They weren't even sorry. They laughed. One of them shouted, "Guess that mutt won't run into the road again." That moment, that sound, it carved itself into my soul. I called the police right there on the spot. An officer showed up, took my statement, looked at Charlie's lifeless body, and shook his head. "Accidents happen," he said. "Not much we can do without evidence they swerved intentionally." Accident? They laughed. They mocked me while my best friend lay dead in my arms. But the law didn't care. The case was closed before it even started. For weeks, I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I heard that laughter again. But grief slowly turned into something else. Something sharper. Something colder. If the system wouldn't punish them, I would find another way. I started digging. I learned their names easily. Small-town gossip spreads fast, and soon I learned this wasn't their first accident. Neighbors whispered about cats going missing, about dogs chased by the same car that killed Charlie. One man swore he saw them throw firecrackers at strays, but whispers weren't enough. I needed proof. So I knocked on doors, talked to everyone I could, and slowly I collected it. A neighbor had security camera footage of the guys swerving toward a loose dog. Another had photos of them holding what looked like injured kittens. And online, they weren't careful. They posted jokes about running over animals. I screenshotted every single one. Piece by piece, I built a case, not just of recklessness, but of cruelty. And when I had enough, I went back to the authorities. Not just the police, but animal control, the county prosecutor, and even local animal rights groups. At first, they brushed me off, but the pile of evidence grew too heavy to ignore. Finally, they reopened the case. The day of the hearing, I sat in the courtroom, my heart pounding. The two men strolled in like they owned the place, cocky grins laughing under their breath, just like the night they killed Charlie. But this time, they weren't laughing for long. The prosecutor laid out everything, the witness statements, the video footage, the screenshots of their sick jokes. One by one, their smirks faded. The judge didn't hold back. He declared them guilty of animal cruelty, reckless endangerment, and aggravated neglect. The punishment? A lifetime ban from owning, fostering, or even living in a home with animals. Their names were added to the state's public animal abuser registry. From that moment on, landlords, shelters, adoption agencies, everyone would know exactly who they were. When the verdict hit, I felt a weight lift off me. No, it wouldn't bring Charlie back, but it meant they would never again laugh at the suffering of another animal. I still walk past that corner sometimes, the one where I lost Charlie, and every time, I feel the ache. But I also remember that courtroom, the silence when the judge read the verdict, the way their cocky grins melted into panic. Charlie didn't die for nothing. His death exposed them for what they really were. And while I'll never hear his paws on the floor again, I know this. Because of him, countless other animals are safe. Justice wasn't easy, it wasn't quick, but it was worth every sleepless night. Because sometimes the only way to honor those we've lost is to make sure no one else suffers the same fate.